Hi, Archie.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Awesome. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, here we are. Well, we finished the other day near the end of this chapter. Poe is finishing up a basketball game, and he noticed that one of the players on his team, named Ricky, was wearing a necklace. And Ricky said, "Oh, it's a piece of coral. It reminds me of my home in Puerto Rico." And he said that he bought the coral from a kid in his math class. And Poe doesn't have a very good feeling about this. He thinks it looks awfully familiar, kind of like the coral in their science experiment. So he's kind of thinking about this. Okay, so before we turn the page, let me just remind us of where we finished. Poe, wanted to ask for the seller's name. He was talking to Ricky. He's talking about this necklace. I don't see it on Ricky right here. Oh, maybe Ricky took it off for the game. But I don't see him wearing it. It says here that while nobody was allowed to wear jewelry during a game, the rules were less strict at practice. And it says Ricky was wearing the necklace. So here's the necklace, but I don't see Ricky wearing it right here. Oh well. But their conversation had drawn attention. Several of their teammates came over to admire Ricky's jewelry. "Looks good, Rick," said one of them. "It would look better on me," said another. "I can hook you guys up," Ricky said. "Maybe we can get a team discount." When he says, "I can hook you guys up," that means I know the person who is selling the coral and I can introduce you to him and he can sell the coral to you just like he sells it to me. Poe's stomach soured. This means he's not feeling good. He was pretty sure that plucking coral from seawater and putting it on a string wasn't good for the environment. He tried to say so, but he was totally drowned out by the team's excitement. When you are drowned out, it means that everyone else is making more noise than you are, and so they can't hear what you are saying. Chapter 10. I'm not sure what that's a picture of right there, but it looks like Minecraft. The title of this chapter is Underwater, Under Pressure, Under Attack. Under attack means there must be some hostile mobs that are going to try to attack them. And remember, if a hostile
Under the water.
Under the water. And
I think it is the water zombie.
The water zombie, the drown. Well,
yeah.
If a hostile mob attacks you, it can do damage or take damage. And then your health meter that has all of your hearts on it, you might lose some of those hearts. And you can regain your health by eating something. Well, with Poe's return the next day to the world of Minecraft, the group had everything they needed to reach the map's destination. The destination is where you are going. The map is the treasure map that they are following. X marks the spot. The destination is where that X is. Finally, Jody said, "My patience meter has been depleted for days." She's making a joke because I don't think there is a patience meter just like there is a health meter. The health meter tells you about your health. Patience would tell you about how patient you are being. That's just kind of funny. Being patient means you're willing to wait for someone or something without getting angry or frustrated. And Jody is ready to go. She has been a little frustrated that Poe has not been with them and that he has been busy playing basketball. Depleted means it is lower than its normal level. She's been losing her patience. Harper says, "I wonder what we will find," said Harper. "Probably a chest containing untold riches," said Poe. That means lots and lots of treasure. Or the Evoker King waiting to destroy us, Morgan suggested. Morgan is always a little nervous, I think. They all gave him a look. What does that mean, to give someone a look? It means that they just turn their head and they just look at him and they're saying something to him just by the expression on their face without saying any words at all. And he says, "What?" he said. "I just want everyone to be prepared." Now, I have learned that this is the Evoker King. This is just an evoker. But here the Evoker King has a crown on his head. So let's see who we have here. This looks like Jody. I recognize the star on her, but I'm not sure who this is. Well, let's see what it says. "We're prepared," said Poe. "Now be a good boy and drink your potion." I think that's your water-breathing potion. Morgan tried to put his unease behind him. Unease means not feeling very good about it. If you're going to put your unease behind you, then you're going to try to forget about feeling nervous and say, "Okay, I'm ready. Everything is going to be great." Even if they were swimming towards a trap, he had faith in his friends. And in the meantime, he wanted to enjoy their time in the ocean. It felt like being on another planet, one full of color and beauty and constant movement. So this word "it" is a pronoun. So what is it that feels like being on another planet? It is their time in the ocean. So when they are in the ocean, it feels like they are on another planet, full of color and beauty, and everything around them is moving. They passed school after school of fish. A squid swam across their path, unbothered by the sight of strange four-limbed creatures. A limb, so they're talking about people. Our arms and legs are called limbs. We have 2 arms and 2 legs, so we have 4 limbs. So a fish or a squid might look at us as a strange creature to see in the ocean with 4 limbs. They would just think of us as a strange 4-limbed creature. They were now further than they had ever traveled. Jody found new blocks of coral to harvest. Ash, we will see in just a minute, but first let's take a look here. We're going to have to see what this picture means. They haven't talked about it. I think maybe on the next page they might talk about that. Ash collected some kelp to dry out in a furnace later. Then the ocean floor fell away. The water got deeper, and below them was a huge structure unlike any Morgan had seen before. He had read about structures like this, though. A structure is a building. He knew an ocean monument when he saw it. It was huge and built entirely of luminous green stone. So this is called an ocean monument, and it's made out of this bright and shiny green stone. And I think this almost looks like the map right there, doesn't it? And here, this might be the ocean monument right here. Maybe that's where X marks the spot. We can also see it right here. That would be the ocean monument. So this is what they are coming to. This is what they can see right now. So I think they are arriving at the end of their quest, their mission to find the X on the map. There was something alien about it. It was beautiful, but also imposing. Alien is a word that means it feels like it's not from around here. We sometimes use this word to talk about if there is any life that is not on Earth, on our planet, say an alien. Now I have an ARC, and the A stands for alien. It's called my alien resident permit. That means that I am not a Taiwanese citizen. I don't have a Taiwan passport. This is not my home country, but I am allowed to live here. I have special permission. So I have an ARC, and the A stands for alien. It means not from here. Imposing. Imposing is a word that means it's very impressive to look at, very grand, very big and impressive. He held up the map. The X was leading them right to the heart of that monument. Now here the word heart means like the inside of it, the main part of it, where the main action is, or the main life of it, kind of right in the center. There was another smaller structure nearby, built of the same green stone as the monument. It looked like a cube, but an incomplete one. He could see into its center where a glowing ball of energy swirled. It was a conduit, a rare underwater creation that had several impressive powers. Morgan knew that they would be able to breathe normally around it. If they stayed close, they wouldn't need to drink any more potions or find any more bubble columns. He also knew that conduits, unlike monuments, did not generate naturally. Someone had built it. Before he could question why, he caught a glimpse of sudden movement out of the corner of his eye. He twirled around, hoping to see a dolphin. It wasn't a dolphin. Swimming toward Morgan was a fearsome, dun, 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 dun. All right, if it's something that is fearsome, that's not going to be good. So I think we're going to have to turn the page and see what is swimming toward Morgan. I think this is Morgan right here. I think he's looking at the map. I think this here is the ocean monument. But then it talks about another smaller structure built of the same green stone that looked like a cube, but it wasn't finished. And it had a glowing ball of energy in the center of it. You know, I think where we have seen that before, I think we've seen that maybe right here. Maybe that's what this is. So maybe this is important. I'm not sure I see it here on this page. I'm not sure I see it here either. But I'm not really sure what I'm looking for. All right, well, anyway, there is a fearsome something swimming toward him. Let's turn the page and see what it is. It's a fearsome fish beast known as a guardian. Its skin was greenish gray, and its bulky body was riddled with bright orange spikes. Those spikes looked dangerous, as did its single red eye. With a flick of its fishtail, the monster was right on top of him. Morgan swung his sword. His attack was slowed by the water. But he hit the guardian and instantly wished he hadn't. As he slashed it, it slashed him back with one of its spikes. So I think maybe Morgan just took some damage. The guardian retreated out of the reach of Morgan's sword. Its eye flared with energy. Morgan knew what that meant. Laser! Morgan dodged just in time. This thing meant business. That means it really is being serious about trying to attack Morgan. Morgan, swam towards it. He raised his sword. It would probably get him with its spikes again, but he didn't have any other way to repel it, to push it away or to make it go away. Or did he? Before he could reach the guardian, Ash swam in front of him. She gestured, that's when you say something using your hands. She gestured madly for him to look down. Now, when you gesture madly, it does not mean you are mad. It means you're moving your hands very quickly with a lot of energy. You're really trying to say something important. Well, Morgan worried there was a second enemy below him, but there was nothing scary down there. Only their friends huddled around the conduit. The conduit! Ash was right. Morgan remembered another of the conduit's powers. It would do more than allow them to breathe underwater. It would also injure any hostile mob that came close to it. I think we're going to see the conduit right here. Here it is. He just had to hope the guardian was mad enough to follow him. Its eye glowed once more. Ash shoved Morgan out of the way of another laser beam. Ash kicked her legs and quickly swam towards the conduit. Morgan then followed closely behind her. He could tell by the panicked looks on his friends' faces that the guardian was right on his heels. The heel is the bottom part of your foot, closest to where your ankles are. It has very thick skin. When we say that someone is right on your heels, that means they are right behind you. They can almost touch you. As they neared the conduit, Morgan risked a backward glance. The guardian was, dun, 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 dun,
Man.
was nowhere to be seen. Had they lost it somehow? Not looking where he was going, Morgan slammed right into Ash. She had stopped swimming. He wondered why. And then he saw the guardian right in front of her. It had been fast enough to cut them off. Now it was blocking their path to the conduit. So they had been trying to get to the conduit first, thinking that if they got there first, the conduit would protect them from the guardian. This is called the guardian. But the guardian got to the conduit first, turned around, and now he's between them and the conduit. The guardian's eye began glowing again. Morgan braced himself for the attack, but then its whole body flashed red. Once, twice, a third time. the Guardian was taking damage. How did that happen? Oh, it had swum too close to the conduit and it couldn't escape in time. After a few brief moments, the Guardian was destroyed. All that remained of it was a floating, twirling, prismarine shard. Morgan recognized it as the very material the ocean monument was built from. He exchanged looks with the others. That means they all looked at each other. Everyone was okay, but they were shaken. If you are shaken, it means that you were pretty nervous, maybe even a little scared. They hadn't expected to face a predator like that. A predator is a creature that is hunting another creature. Ash started placing blocks near the conduit. Her plan was clear. She wanted to create another shelter. That way, Morgan could heal and they could all rest before entering the monument. Morgan was frustrated at the new delay. Delay is when you have to stop and you can't keep going and you have to wait. So it can be frustrating. But he agreed with the plan. There would probably be more guardians inside the monument, and one boss battle per day was more than enough for him. That had been a big battle between him and the Guardian. Plus, it would be getting late in the real world by now, and he was starting to get pretty excited about their science project. He wanted to check on his coral one more time before heading home for the day. All right, this is where we are going to be putting our star at the beginning of chapter 11. Let's see what the picture is going to be. It looks to me like it's jewelry made from coral. Maybe we'll find out more about that person in 4th grade who has been selling the coral. Okay, Archie, it is time to say.
So long.
Better Chip.
Bye.
Bye, Archie.